So you are indeed seeing the rally that I thought we would, considering we closed pretty much at the lows of 2022 on Friday. It was an extended weekend. Trading was not open yesterday. The futures market was, and that has helped send us up about 2.5% on the S&P currently and about 2.75% on the NASDAQ. I have been talking about this 5 to 10% rally from the bottom, so at the very minimum, we're probably halfway there with this move that we are seeing right now. But we do have a big catalyst coming tomorrow, and that is going to be the Fed. The almighty big bad wolf, which is the Fed. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what is happening today. We do have some real estate data that came out, and the AMC numbers as far as the cost to borrow rates and the short interest are ticking up sharply again today. So let's get into all of this key information. If you guys find value out of the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section, and check out the sponsor of this video, which is Moomoo. Right now, up until June 30th at 11:59 p.m., sign up, deposit $100. You will get 7 free stocks. That is essentially free money. Probably get a 20 to 50% return on your $100 deposit. So check that out if you guys have not already. It is the hottest summer deal promotion, and you will only find that with Moomoo. Nonetheless, let's get into this information. Now, like I said, the S&P and the NASDAQ are up sharply, whereas AMC stock kind of sold off as soon as we started trading, bounced back up. We've sold off a little bit, and we're holding this range slightly negative on the day. And this is really the case for a decent amount of stocks that are in the so-called retail space, because essentially what is happening right now is hedge funds, they want to buy these quote-unquote quality stocks. They want to buy the values. They want to buy more profitable companies right now. But what they're going to do is they're going to short the stocks that are not profitable, that are seen as risky stocks, even though Motley Fool, which is the biggest fudster of all when it comes to retail stocks, when it comes to stocks like AMC, they're even saying, in quote, "It's finally time for serious investors to consider buying AMC stock." So that's essentially what is going on. And if you guys follow this channel, then you know we have had 100% share utilization for months now. And that essentially means there is no more shares left of AMC stock to really sell short in a meaningful way. That's why I think the short interest has been staying relatively unchanged, very, very high, but in between, 22 and 24% over the past couple of weeks. What is really dragging on the stock is the option activity. And we are seeing some bullish options coming through, like these January 20th, 2023 $20 calls. You can see about a $57,000 order right there, a $61,000 order right there. But a vast majority of option activity is incredibly bearish. Look at these. July 15th, $20 puts, $800,000 trade. Another July 15th, $20 put, a $2 million trade. So if you guys are really unaware of what it means when there is no more shares left to short, shorting shares, they have to find these shares. You have to pay the cost to borrow rate, right? But if you buy options specifically that are close to the money, like these are, with a break even of $12, it's 46 cents away from the market makers having to essentially go out and hedge millions of shares worth, right? For even just specifically the July 15th options that we just went over. That's where you can get the market makers that can essentially issue IOUs, right? So they can go out and short stock, even though there's not really stock there to be delivered, because it comes down to options. That's why these market makers, and when you see large option orders, it can move stocks up or down dramatically, because the market makers, they're allowed to flood the markets with either buy orders or sell orders when it comes down to options. So right now, you're not really seeing that short activity as far as the shares, but you are 100,000% seeing it with the put options. And that's why the stock continues to fall, or at least stay pretty neutral, even on very green days in the markets. And that was like the #1 asked question on that video I put out over the weekend, is if there's no shares available to short still, then why is the stock falling? And that is it. It is because all of the very negative option activity. So for the day, it's looking like 10 orders totaling $3.17 million, positive order value of 7%. These are ultra low numbers. Like, even on just a terrible company, something that is not even making money, not even $1 of revenue, still is not having a positive order value of 7%. That is out of this world low. I hope you guys understand that. So that is what is really going on with AMC stock. Now, when it comes down to the big catalyst tomorrow, which is going to obviously be the Fed, you can see this right here. It is highlighted in red, so it is expected to be a high volatility catalyst. And you do have Fed Chair Powell. He testifies in front of Congress, basically gonna try to please politicians. And I guess what they want to hear is inflation is coming down, we're not heading into recession. So it's pretty well televised that we're probably going to get some bullish comments out of Fed Jerome Powell. We'll see, obviously, if he wants to throw us a curveball. That's what he will do if they are seeing data coming in that is changing. Expect either very bullish reaction or a very bearish reaction based off of what he says. And unfortunately, this testimony will come in at about 8:30 in the morning. So depending on what trades you have at the close of the day, that's basically what you're going to have to rock with heading into Fed Jerome Powell at 8:30 in the morning. After that, you do have some bond auctions. You do have Fed Evans that speaks, Fed Barkin, Fed Harker, and then some other things as well, but nothing that is even close to, as important as Fed Jerome Powell. When it comes down to catalysts for the markets right now, nothing will be more important than Fed Powell. And then even on Thursday, you have Fed Powell again, which does give testimony in front of Congress. So a lot of Powell over the next 2 days. You have some wholesale sales month over month, continuing jobless claims, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, some bond auctions, things like that. But that's really going to be the main deal, as well as the Fed Bank stress test results. Typically, we tend to have very positive reactions in the markets when that stress test does come out and once we get that data, because the Feds have been in a very good spot essentially to weather any recession. It's not like 2008 where you're going to see large banks potentially going bankrupt. That's not the case. But if these banks do not perform well, then that could be a different scenario, and that would be ultra bearish for the markets. The last thing you want is recession, high inflation, Fed raising rates, and the banks that are in a bad overall liquidity situation. So that is basically that. That is going to be the big catalyst. Those are some other catalysts throughout the rest of the week as well. Now, what I expect for AMC stock is really just an overall bullish reaction. I think today's reaction is just so negative relative to the markets because of all of those put options that we are seeing. If we go ahead and look at the Stock O Tracker data, you do only have about 7,500 puts that are in the money. Obviously, this will refresh by the end of the day because we did see quite a bit of puts that actually, did go onto the option chain that were purchased in the money or with a very low break even on the day, and that is what is helping to push us down. But overall, not a huge option expiration this week. These are the weekly options. The next big option expiration is going to obviously be July 15th, and you do have about 10,000 calls that are in the money, 407,000 calls that are out of the money, and 87,500 puts that are currently in the money. And that is, like I said, what is really going to weigh on the stock or help the stock out a lot. There's a lot of dry powder just in the out of the money calls alone and the in the money puts that could potentially give AMC stock a lot of buying power or buying pressure if we do see a bullish reaction, which I think we're long overdue for a bullish reaction. If we look at the technicals on the daily candlestick chart, you can see the RSI is under the neutral level of 50. The stock has stayed in a relatively close range. I mean, only a couple dollar range. You haven't deviated from that. We haven't chose a bearish or bullish direction, even though the markets were at 2022 lows on Friday, and on Thursday was the 2022 low. We were still like $1 off of AMC's lows. AMC's low was right here on May 12th. That hit $9.70 per share, and we didn't even really come close to that. We didn't even really dip under $11 in the last 10, 15 trading days. So we held up very well, and I think that is overall bullish, and I do think that is going to help us on this eventual rally. MACD, surprisingly still slightly bullish, but I mean, it's so thin, you really can't draw any conclusions from that. But the way that we have been holding up looks really, really good, and the moving averages have been coming down. So the 100-day moving average is at $14.05 per share. The 50-day moving average is at $16.12 per share. If we can break above the 100-day moving average, that could give us that market maker buying pressure. It could give us a lot of options that do go into the money at that $13 strike that could push us even, you know, to 16 or higher by the end of this week. Obviously, that's not something that I'm going to die on a hill for. It's not something I would necessarily make a trade based off of. But if we do see volume come back into the stock, which we have had very low volume over the last 10, give or take 10, 20 trading days now, that's where you could see some pretty big moves to the upside. And I do think AMC has something for us in the near-term horizon as far as a bullish catalyst, maybe acquiring a stake, maybe an update on the popcorn business, the crypto, credit card business, whatever, you know, that they have in the works right now. You're getting halfway through 2022 already. I know that's a crazy thing to say, and we are expecting to get some kind of updates over the next coming days, weeks, and months. So that is pretty much going to be all for this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys want access to all of my trades in real time, link it down below in the pinned comment, and make sure to check out the sponsor of this video, which is Moomoo. Get yourself 7 free stocks when you sign up and deposit $100. It's the easiest money that you will ever make in your lifetime, and with inflation this high, with the Fed raising rates, with everything else going to shit, at least you can get yourself some free money with Moomoo. Same thing for Webull as well. Deposit $100. I believe it's 4 or 5 free stocks. Don't quote me on that. And then Public, you don't even have to deposit a single dollar to get your free stock. So check that out if you guys want to be a part of it. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.